Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Can you all hear me? Can you all see the slides? And today, of course, you can see my face as well. Okay, fine. Very good. So how are you? Yeah. So hope everybody will come and let's start the session. I hope all of you can hear my voice very clear. And if you have any issues with the voice, just make sure that your mic and the environment is silent. Yeah, that's good. So you can see the slides as well. Okay, fine. So as you all know that this week is week 3, the first session of our week 3 virtual session. Today we are going to talk about the competencies for public health informaticians. And I would like to remind you that today there will be some guests in our session. They might join in between, so I hope that is kind of introduced. And then, so for this week, the week 3, we are supposed to talk about competencies for public health informaticians. So basically, before we move on to this week topic, I hope you would have gone through the previous week material. Which are given in the blackboard, and also I hope you have maybe you might have read the chapter 1 and you understood. So I just want to make sure that you have understood the topic well. That last week we basically talk about we introduced the public health informatics. So this is slides where it's carrying a quiz for you. Just try. This question is about what are the criteria needs to match in some degree, in order for a condition to realistically be of interest to public health. So if a problem or condition which can be achieved, tackled by the public health measures, so what are the basically we studied 3 criteria needs to be met in some degree. So can anybody answer the quiz? There is a guide I have given in the slide. You already know that how to do that. So if anybody wants to answer this quiz using the mic, so I will give the mic permission. You just raise your hand. Of course, yes, Asim Mirza is a volunteer for the first question. Yes, I will take the answer from Asim Mirza. Make sure that I have given the mic permission to Asim Mirza. Make sure that there is no external voice, and just click on the talk button and you can answer.
Hi, Doctor. Can you hear me?
Yes, fine. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay,
so
the criteria are...
What are the 3 criteria?
Okay, the criteria are preventability and prevalence and severity.
Okay, so that's the correct answer basically, and it's given here as well. So you can off the mic now, and okay. So right. So basically, it's in order for a condition to be realistically of interest to public health, it usually needs to match in some degree the following the criteria which are given here. One is the severity, The severity is the condition or disease must be severe enough in its effects to warrant some type of intervention or monitoring. And the other criteria is the preventability. Is the condition must be preventable or at least be able to mitigate it by the health interventions or behavioral modification. The third criteria is the prevalence. And you say prevalence, the condition must be prevalent enough in the population to warrant some type of intervention. So these criteria can be satisfied in a part or whole. Okay, so I think you have understood that topic basically. And then we will move on to the next slide, and next slide carries quiz, another quiz. So I hope any volunteers can answer. The quiz is who are the public health informaticists or informaticians. So basically while we introduced the public health informatics, we introduced the informaticians who are there in basic. So we will see as well the definition for public health informatician. Yes, I will give the mic permission to Ala Al-Shibli to answer these questions. Shibli, make sure that you are outside noise free and you can answer the quiz.
Hi, good evening, Doctor.
Yes, good evening, yes.
Good evening also my colleagues. Actually, a public health informatics or informations is a professional in the systematic application of information and computer science and technology to public health practices, research and learning.
Yes, that is exactly correct. But you know, basically it shows that a person or a professional who has the informatic and computer science knowledge in background, who can systematically apply the information and computer science and technology to public health practice, research and learning. So these slides carries the answer. So I hope that you would have understood that. Okay, so the next quiz, a recap of the last week. What are the two primary disciplines underlie the public health informatics? Of course, there is a volunteer to answer the quiz, Saeed Al-Khatani. I have given you the mic permission and you can answer now.
Thank you, Doctor. Good evening for you. I think that the two primary disciplines, it's computer science and informatics science.
Yes, I see. Yeah. Please kind of off the mic and then it will not make any noise. Yes. So basically it's the computer science and the informatics science. So these primary two disciplines underlie the public health informatics. When you say computer science, the theory and application of automatic data processing machine. And when you say the informatics science, it's the analysis of the structure, properties, and the organization of information, information storage and retrieval, and information system and database architecture and design. Okay. I'll move on to the next slide, which is carrying another quiz for you. It is also a recap of the last week topic. Can anybody answer these quiz? So what are the 4 principles of public health informatics? Yes, I have a volunteer here, Saeed Al-Khatani. You're very good, very smart. Okay. You can answer, Saeed, I think. Saeed, can you hear me? slides. Can you hear me? I think I'll give the mic permission to
Yes,
Abdul Mohsin.
Yes, Doctor. Hello, are you
Yeah.
hearing me?
Yeah. Yes, we can hear you.
The four principles of the public health informatics. I think to focus public health informatics on application of information science. Second one, another focus of public informatics on the application of informatics science and technology that prevent disease and injury. Third one, public health informatics application explore the potential for prevention at all vulnerable points in causal chains leading to disease. Last one, as discipline, public health informatics reflects the governmental context in which public health is practiced. Thank you.
Yes, that's all. That's good. Thanks for answering. Okay. So this slide shows that four basic principles. So basically, the focus of public health informatics is an application of the information science and technology that promote the health population rather than the health of the individual. The second principle is the public health informatics is the application of information science and technology that prevent the disease and injury by altering the condition or the environment. So as you can compare with the medical informatics, this is where the application of preventing the disease rather than curing. Okay, so the applications also involved in the preventing of the disease aspect. And the third principle is the public health informatics applications explore the potential for prevention at vulnerable points in the causal chain, which is leading to the disease, injury, or disability. And the fourth principle is basically public health informatics when it says it's in government context rather than a private or individual institution. Okay, so with that recap, I hope you would have got all the reading material for this week. Of course, the reading material is one document which is the publication. I have it here. I think you can see the competencies for public health informaticians, which is published by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and Center for Disease Control and Prevention. So they have come up with the competencies for public health informaticians. I hope all of you downloaded this link and you might have gone through this as well. Okay, so this week after completing this lecture, you will be able to define the main knowledge area for public health informaticians, and also you will identify the essential skills for public health informaticians, and you would be able to list the major public health competencies. So we will list out some of the public health informatics. There are 13, and you will see how it's linked with your course program that is provided by the SEU and the public health informatics competencies. So we will move on to the next slide, which is carrying some of the definition of the which is explaining the competencies that public health informaticians should achieve. So when you say today's public health professionals should be able to use the information effectively, to use IT effectively, and to manage IT project effectively. Ideally, the public health leaders also should have the skill and vision to apply science and technology to re-engineer certain elements of public health practice altogether when such fundamental changes are appropriate and made feasible by modern IT practice. So there are following three definitions are important in relation to today's topics of competencies for public health informaticians. One is public health informatics, that is define the systematic application of information and computer science and technology to public health practice, research and learning. So we already saw that in the last week. So that's why I had the recapture of the last week topic as well. And the second definition carries the definition of public health informatician. So as you can see, this definition little bit differ from the last week that we saw, but it basically means the same. A public health professional who works in either practice, research or academia, and whose primary work function is to use informatics to improve population health. Okay. And now we have a question, what are the competencies? So when you say the competencies, we define a public health informatics competency as a public health worker's observable or measurable performance, skill or knowledge related to systematic application of information and computer science and technology to public health informatics. Okay, now we will move on to the next slide. Okay, I have moved to the next slide. So, as you can see, when you go through the competencies for public health informaticians, that document, you can see there are a working group formed by the CDC to develop the competencies for public health informaticians. So those groups define the competencies for public health informatics, started by examining previous efforts and the results of other competency development activities or initiatives. So because of the intent to create the competencies, the working group decided to work with the context of the core competencies which are related to public health. So they develop the competencies from the core competencies of the public health professionals. So what are these competencies? There are 8 competencies of the public health professionals. First one is analytic assessment skill. Second one is policy development program planning skills. Third, communication skills. Fourth, cultural competency. Fifth, community dimension of practice skill. Sixth one is basic public health science skills. And seventh, financial planning and management skills. And the last one is leadership and systems thinking skills. So basically, these 8 domains of the public health competencies which were not describing or incorporate the competencies which are particularly for the public health informaticians. So these competencies which are given in the slides are for the public health professionals. So these domains do not incorporate specific informatics competencies that is required for public health informatics. As you can see, 8 domains, there are nothing related to informatics. So therefore, the working group elected to create an additional domain focusing totally on public health informatics competencies. Okay, so the competencies for yes, so the competencies for public health informaticians should incorporate knowledge, skills and abilities to organize information for public health purpose, leveraging the technology within the public health setting. So the resulting competencies should address use of information for public health practice. Second one is use of information technology to increase personal effectiveness as a public health professional. And third one is to management of IT projects to improve effectiveness of public health enterprise. So these competencies, apart from the public health professional competencies, the public health informaticians should have competencies on these three aspects: use of information and the use of IT for their personal effectiveness, and also management of IT project. Because the public health informatics is such a new field, the working group agreed that a key first step would be developing a public health informatician's definitions or role. So the definitions is intended to capture the range of knowledge and skills public health informaticians should have, as well as the types of roles public health informaticians play in their public health agencies. So the PHIs as acronym for public health informaticians may have a variety of roles, including research scientists, project managers, or chief information officers who are developing or testing the new informatics methods or overseeing implementation of information system, or they might serve in an advisory role to the IT specialist. So as you can see, the IT specialists are different to the public health informaticians. So regardless of their specific role, public health informaticians must have extensive knowledge of IT system, informatics, and public health. So these public health informaticians should have extensive knowledge on IT system, informatics, and public health practice. Okay, so can you all hear me? Are you all with me? Okay, yes. So they developed the working group, which is by the CDC, developed the competencies for public health informaticians, and what are the use of, or who are the intended users? So there are a group of intended users. The public health informatics is basically, as I told you, is a relatively a new field. So the public health informatician's role is basically misunderstood. So the competencies for public health informaticians are intended to reflect best practice and set expectation of knowledge for staff in this field. When it comes to a more established field, competencies are about workers, what they do. For the new fields, such as these public health informatics, competencies which reflect the person should be doing, and such as those competencies helps to define the field. So the intended users of the public health informatician, basically for the public health informatician itself, is to assess the current skill levels and also to create career development plan. So what are the users? For the employers who are employing these public health informaticians, they can create career ladder for these informaticians. They can develop training plans. They can develop position description and job qualification, and also they can assess overall informatics capacity. And the other important group which involved or using these competencies are the educators, like the Electronic University. Basically, a CU providing degrees in health informatics, so they can develop or design competency-based education and training program, and they can enhance the existing coursework. So the link between the SCU subjects and the public health informatics or the health informatics you can understand now. Okay, now we'll move on to the next slide. So this working group, what they have done, they efforted to evolve with the members recognize that there are at least 2 tiers of public health informaticians are employed in the public health agencies. The first group is the public health informaticians, which include researchers, scientists, project managers, program advisors, often more narrowly focused in their work scope. These public health informaticians, their scope is more narrowly focused. The second group is a senior public health informatician, which includes more experienced persons functioning as a senior agency personnel, such as the chief information officers or public health informatics officers. So there are two tiers of public health informaticians. The working group which created the definition for both tiers of the public health informaticians, and they crafted the language that differentiates these positions from more traditional IT specialists. Through this process, the working group clarified competency language to help personnel and public health agencies distinguish between different tiers. So, what are these two tiers? We will explain a little bit. So, I hope you have understood, and what I have explained earlier. You should know that there is a clear definition, description or difference between the IT specialist and the public health informaticians, and also public health professionals who have more focused knowledge and the skills and abilities in the informatics field. So the public health informaticians, or basically the junior people, all those such specialists might develop expertise in a given public health program area. All public health informaticians should have core competencies in both informatics and public health as well. So the public health informatician should be capable of developing innovative applications that address the public health priorities by addressing, analyzing how information is organized and used, and evaluating how this work contributes to the scientific field. For example, the public health informaticians or the junior people are the project managers for IT implementation in a public health setting, researchers working to develop innovative information system to support public health activities. So you can see some of the example of these public health informaticians. Next, the senior public health informaticians. Who are they? The senior public health informaticians are having experience which allows them to oversee or make recommendations on complex agency-wide IT projects, policies and concerns. And these senior public health informaticians lead the strategic planning to manage data and systems, and oversee implementation and operation of the IT project system, and manage agency IT resources. In an academic setting, these senior public health informaticians conceive and implement innovative research projects to apply emerging informatics principles and IT systems to public health programs. These SPHIs serve as policy advisors and leaders at the highest level of the public health agency. They are bringing specialized knowledge and skills in the areas of information architecture, information resource management planning, enterprise level information system development and integration, and organizational change management. So there are some of the examples given for the SPHIs are the strategic information specialist and standardized vocabulary specialist and professors of public health informatics. I hope now you would have understood two tiers of these public health informaticians. Public health informatician and senior public health informatician. Basically, the difference is between two are the expertise and the decision making level. So there is a quiz, MCQ I have put up on the slide. I hope you can answer this. Senior public health informaticians might have a job title as, is it A, standardized vocabulary specialist, or the B, program manager, C, researcher, or D, maintenance specialist. You can answer is, you can select the answer by selecting the polling button. On the participant list you can see, yes, so that is, I have given that hint how to use this poll button. You can use that as well. Okay, I'll give you a break. Yes, I can see that many of you are answering the correct answer. Standardized vocabulary specialist. With that quiz, I will move on to the next slide. So earlier I explained that the major difference between the public health informaticians and the senior public health informatician is judgment and experience. Okay, so the competencies for both tiers are similar, but they vary in the level of expertise and responsibilities expected of a person serving in either PHI or SPHI role. So it depends on their role in their working place. Okay, so there is another MCQ. It's just to recapture what I have told you. So the major difference between PHI and SPHI. Is it education? Is it knowledge? Is it judgment? Or is it the title? I hope you can use that poll button as well to answer. Yes. Many of you are answering correct. The judgment. Of course, the expertise and the judgment is the main difference. Move on to the next slide. So, what happened with the competency development? The competency statement for the position of the public health informaticians and the senior public health informaticians are related, but differ on the basis of expectation for knowledge, ability, and the competencies have been developed using this framework. The competency statement, following that the sub-competency statement, there will be several, and there are the sub-competency statement. If you can go through the document which is that I have given, you can find this framework on the appendix page and the appendix 1. So the competency statement which describe knowledge, skills and abilities at a higher level and the lower level statement provide more detail to clarify the intent and specific skills and abilities desired. There are 13 core competencies which are given with alphabetically A to M, which is coming in the next slide. I hope you won't be able to see this, you can't read this slide. So I would like to share that page from that document for you. Yes. I have now shared the document which is carrying the core competencies for public health informaticians. It shows the 13 public competencies for public health informaticians. So the working group, what they have done, they created a formal definition of a public health informatician and they developed a consensus set of core competencies. And after they were completing these, their competencies were validated through an external review, subject matter experts, and a period of public comment. And the two-tiered set of 13 competencies, you can see in the slide, as well as you can see the document which I shared with you now. Underlying sub-competencies described include those 13 competencies are strategic direction and knowledge management, use of informatics standards, meeting user needs and requirements, supporting information system development, IT project and program management, communication evaluation, public health informatics research, development of interoperable system to integrate clinical, environment and population health, information security, and education and training at last. So there are 13 competencies which are described, common for public health informaticians as well as senior public health informaticians. But there is a slight difference between their experience and expertise and judgmental level. I hope you would have get that document as well as you will understand what I have told. Okay. So these competencies are intended to be dynamic and should evolve as the field evolves. So this is not a kind of an static. So there are these 13 competencies which have been described in the framework of competency statements, sub-competency statement, and sub-competency statements are like in detail the list out the competencies for public health informaticians. Okay. So do you have any question at this moment? Basically, I will take the question at the last. So I will move on to the next slide. Okay. Yeah. So that's for this week, and then I would like to make a summary. Any volunteers? They can make a summary what we have studied in this week. The competencies for public health informaticians. Please don't leave as I have to take the attendance as well. And can anybody summarize what you have studied so far in this week 3? Any volunteers? Sami Al-Khaimi, can you summarize? Okay, so I will give the summary. Yes, this is the summary. So we saw 3 definitions. What is the definition for public health informatics? What is the definition for public health informaticians? And what are the definitions given in relation to the competencies for public health informaticians? And then we talk about the competencies which are defined by their roles. The roles are public health informatician and the senior public health informatician. And then the tiers of the public health informaticians. And then we talk about the intended users of the competencies for public health informaticians. That's document who can use. It can be used by the public health informaticians or the employers or the education providers. And we also talk about the competency framework of developing these competencies. And then we saw the 13 core competencies. 13 core competencies. I have shared with you the document, and also you can find the sub-competencies under each competencies in the appendix of this topic, of this the document. Do you have any questions at this moment? I hope you would have understood what I have discussed so far. And do you have any questions? I give you 2 minutes or 3 minutes. Just you can type your question or you can raise your hand so that I can give you the mic to ask the question. Okay. Okay, welcome. Okay, so finally I would like to give like a reminder about the week 3 assignment, which is basically on the topic which we have discussed so far, public health competencies for the public health informaticians. The question, I can read it out. Assume that you are a manager of a public health agency. So once you have completed, you will be some kind of in the managerial level. We assume that you are a manager. So how would you develop and expand the informatics competencies of the staff at your agency? So you can write the answers to frame in terms of the specific issues, such as the importance of developing an organizational capacity to create an ad hoc reports. So you can just read more on this topic, and you have to come up with the assignment. I have given all the details, when is the due date and how you should submit the assignment, and it's written essay format. You have to make sure that it should be free of the plagiarism, as well as make sure that there are no mistakes in your write-ups. I hope that you are in the last level, so you have more like experience now writing the answers. Of course, yeah. Yes, about how many assignments? Basically, every other week you might have some assignment as well as some discussion board assignment. So yes, the words number like 500 or less, but the important point is that you should give the reference when you write some important write-ups. So you make sure you give the reference at the last. The reference is important. We are giving marks for the reference as well. Yes, of course, inshallah, you read up and come up for the next session. We will have some more questions, and we will also discuss in detail more questions. So before I wrap up the session, I have 7 minutes. Do you have any questions now? Do you have any questions? Okay. So next week we are going to talk about the evaluation of the public health informatics application. So in that evaluation, we will explain the purpose of an evaluation of a public health information system. We can differentiate between the formative and summative evaluation, introduce some evaluation frameworks, and also we will see the steps in conducting public health informatics evaluation. And we will also explore and analyze the methods and tools which are used for the health information. This is for the week 4. Inshallah, we will have the next session as well on the competencies. Yeah, the thing is that the assignment for the purpose of understanding of the topics in clear. Okay, so I would like to discuss some of the quiz on the quiz manager, but of course the time is up now. And then, do you have any questions? Otherwise, okay, I have understood. Yes. Do you have any questions? Yeah, just give some questions rather than the personal issues. Okay. Do you have any questions related to the subject that we have discussed in the week 2 or the week 3? You're welcome. Okay. Yes. If you don't have any questions, then you may leave the class. Its time is up only 4 minutes, so you can leave. That I hope that you have understood the topic, and we will discuss in further in the next session as well. Thanks for participating, and okay. Assalamu alaikum. Yes. Couldn't understand what you. Yes, Shibli. Yes, of course. Do you have any question? Shibli, can you raise your hand? Shall we have the? Yeah. Is it related to the topic that we discussed, or something other than that we'll discuss in the next session? Okay, yes, go on, the assignment.
Hi, good evening, Doctor.
Yeah, good evening, yes.
Sorry to bother you. Just here regarding the discussion board assignment 2-1 and 3-1. Both of them, the due date is going to be on 25th of Feb, right?
No. This, yes, 3.2 is the assignment, the essay question, basically. And the 2.1 is the assignment. Yes, I'll check on that.
Both of
that's it. Yeah. Any other question?
And both of them are going to be the due date is going to be on 25th of Feb.
No, I couldn't get that. Can you repeat it again?
I mean, the due date for 2-1 discussion board and 3-1 essay question. The due date, the last date to submit these assignments is going to be on 25th of February.
Yeah. Right? Yes. You have enough time for this third week.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Thanks a lot. Just to clear it on my mind. Thank you very much, Doctor.
Yes. Okay, welcome.
I wish you a good night. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Welcome. Assalamu alaikum. So that's end our session, and let's meet in the next virtual session. Assalamu alaikum.